Hi everybody, it is Tuesday, November 24. That means that this coming Sunday, which is November 29, is the start of the Advent season. Advent begins a new year in the church calendar. Advent is a new beginning. Advent is also a season of longing. We often kind of mentally skip right into Christmas mode. As soon as the decorations come out, the tree goes up, we are all in Christmas mindset. But Advent is really a time of waiting, of longing, of looking forward to the coming of Christ. And Christmas Day is kind of when that celebration explodes following that period of longing. So with that in mind, knowing what Advent is really all about, it kind of seems like this year has been the most Advent year we have maybe had in recent memory. A year of longing, of desiring, of aching. The classic Advent song or hymn is O Come, Emmanuel. That desire for God to break into our lives and bring some relief from all the things that are going wrong around us. This year really gets us in the mindset of Advent. There's another hymn or Christmas song that speaks to Advent longing, and that's the song O Holy Night. Of course, it gets to the birth of Christ, it gets to Christmas mode, but in the first verse it says, long lay the world in sin and error pining. And pining, of course, means longing. Long lay the world in sin and error pining. But then it opens the door a little bit on the light that's coming. It says, till he appeared, till Christ appeared, and the soul felt its worth. I had never given that phrase a lot of thought before. You hear that song on the radio, there's a million different versions of it, and you hear that line, and the soul felt its worth. But I recently realized how powerful that line is, to say, when Christ appeared, our soul feels its worth. We feel how valuable we are when we see Christ appear, and we see what God has done for the world because of his love. I wonder how you would answer that question if I were to ask you, does your soul feel its worth? Or how valuable do you feel your soul is? Or how valuable do you feel you are? I don't mean soul in some ethereal, detached sense. I mean like you as a person. Do you feel your worth? Do you feel your value? Recently I heard from an old work acquaintance about some of his anxieties and struggles, and he's not sleeping well at night, and part of it is his anxiety over parenting and whether he's a good enough parent. And as I heard him wrestle with some of these things, it struck me that here's somebody who just doesn't feel right now like his soul, his person, who he is, has much worth. In the Bible, through the prophet Isaiah, God says this amazing thing. He says, return to me, for I have redeemed you. Return to me, for I have redeemed you. Now there's a command there, return to me. But there's also a fact that before that coming to God happens, that God has done a redemptive work. God has given us a new value. Because if you think about the word deem, it means to basically make a value judgment. I deem this car as worth, $2,000 or something like that. We deem ourselves a certain way. God redeems us. He gives us a new value. Now that word redeem really means to buy back. But in so doing, through Jesus Christ, doesn't God give us a new value? And that's what the promise of Christmas is. As we enter Advent and we look forward to Jesus breaking into the world, we look forward to celebrating that once again. The significance of that is that God gives us a new value. And we can see Jesus Christ and find once again our worth, not as we see ourselves through the eyes of doubt and self-depreciation and self-criticism, but see ourselves through the lens of God who sent Jesus Christ to the world to save us from who we were on our own, to give us a new value. There is the promise of redemption through Jesus Christ. It is all through the Bible. The New Testament speaks of through him we have redemption, through his blood shed on the cross. There is a new value, a new worth. And so when you hear that song, and I'm sure you will a whole bunch of times this coming holiday season, O Holy Night, think about those words in the verse. Long lay the world in sin and error pining. Isn't that our world? Hasn't that been our world this past year? Till he appeared, till Christ appeared, and the soul felt its worth. And my prayer for you, my prayer for all of us this holiday, this Christmas Advent season, is that we feel our worth when we see Jesus Christ, who God sent into the world out of his great love for us. Have a great week, and we will see you next time.